Hey everybody, it's Julie. It is I think it's 1, maybe a few minutes after 1 on Wednesday. And I'm just gonna wait a few minutes and, I don't know, chat with you guys while I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to join live. I was so sad that I missed you guys last night. I was at a tryout for my daughter. I wasn't trying out for anything, but I was at a tryout for my daughter for soccer, and it was a pretty big deal for her. So I didn't want her to have to go by herself, because she would have been, hang on, swipe left. Hold on. Oh, there. Hey, Mark! Yay! I see Mark! So anyway, it was a big deal for her, so I needed to be there and be present for her, because that was a pretty big accomplishment for her to get a call back for this soccer thing. So that's where I was last night, and I just feel so lucky that the work that I do, that I get to do that. I get to be present for my kid when she wants me to be present. So that made me feel really good. And as I was standing there last night, watching this pretty extreme event for her, watching her play with some incredibly talented players and feeling a really proud mama moment, I was thinking to myself that I'm like a proud mama in so many areas of my life. I'm proud, obviously, when I'm watching my kids do amazing things, but I'm also really proud of this group. And the fact that I knew in my heart, without a doubt, that Patty would be able to pick up that call and lead that call and give you guys some really valuable coaching and some really valuable information. How cool is that? How cool is it that we have a business and a community where we can pick up for each other, where we can hold each other up, where we can offer solutions, where we can, I don't know, where we can just be in support of each other while we're reaching whatever our goals might be. And for me last night, that goal was to be very present for my family. So anyway, I missed you last night. Hey, Kate! And I just wanted to come to you today because I can't let a whole week go by without touching base with you. So the other thing I wanted to say is, look at me, like I'm still dressed in my gym attire. I had an idea that I was going to shower and blow dry my hair and maybe put on some makeup and look my beautiful self for you guys for this live chat today. But I didn't have time. My day got away, or my morning got away. I had a couple people come over that I shared with, and 2 of them enrolled. So that was super exciting, a mother and a daughter. And, sometimes you just gotta show up the way you show up. And as I wasn't planning on showing up in my gym attire with my hair and a headband, that's how I have to show up, because it's 1 o'clock and it's time. So that brings me to sort of what I want to talk about today. And it's the question that I posted in the tag or the title of this video was, how are you? And I put that how in capital letters. How are you? Because of course I want to know how you are, because I'm always checking in, but I also want you to understand, how are you showing up in this process? How are you showing up in life? How are you showing up every single day? Because we hear a lot about who are you and like what do you want, but really I'm a believer in how you. Sorry, my phone just rang, and I'm doing my video on my phone, so my phone just rang. I had to put that person into my voicemail. So whoever that was, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Are you showing up as somebody who's really excited to be here and who's really, believing in the possibilities? Are you showing up as somebody who is excited about your day, or somebody who's dreading the tasks that lay in your path? Are you somebody who feels really lucky that you have found this system, and that maybe today's a cleanse day? For me, it's a cleanse day. So you feel lucky that you're cleansing today because you just know how great that's going to make your body feel. Are you somebody who's showing up, or are you showing up feeling like that's going to be hard, right? So when we set the intention for how we want to show up in any given circumstance, that could be a moment, an hour, a day, a program, a system, a business. Whenever we set the intention that it's going to be challenging, that's what's going to show up for us. If we set the intention that it's going to be that it's going to be easy, or it's going to be fun, or it's going to be adventurous, or it's going to be exciting, then that may be what's going to show up for us. So I want you to really think about how you are, and how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're living in a cluttered environment, and you're like, these are some of the reasons why I've created these tasks for you every single week, like clearing clutter last week. If you're living in a cluttered environment, chances are your thinking is cluttered, maybe your car is cluttered, maybe your ideas aren't coming to fruition because they're not really that organized, or maybe your relationships are a little bit scattered. So really take a look and see the areas where you're feeling tested in your life, and if that feels like it's stressed or cluttered or overwhelmed, or I don't know what it is, where else is that showing up for you? And how how are you paying attention? So my goal is to have you feel simplicity, to have you feel this feeling of weightlessness. I don't want anything really to make you feel bogged down or heavy in your life. And there's a difference between feeling heavy and feeling grounded. We obviously want to feel grounded. We don't want to feel like we're just like, not tethered to the universe or to the earth. But we do want to feel weightless. We don't want to feel like anything's holding us down. So things that hold us down: finances, diet, relationships, your environment, your spirituality, your fitness, all of that stuff has the power to either be empowering, to feel light, or to feel incredibly heavy. So our goal in our work that we're doing, whether that be in Isagenix or just in our life, is to help you to feel more weightless. So I want to specifically talk about how you eat and how that affects your body and how that affects your results. So what I call this the how of eating. And I'll post this as a PDF that I actually created called The How of Eating. And it's really, it's just an interesting concept to think about. So there's a really cool quote. It's actually by Luciano Pavarotti, and it says, "One of the very nicest things about life is the way we must regularly stop whatever it is we're doing and devote our attention to eating." I love that quote, because what that quote says to me is, one, that food is pleasurable, which it absolutely should always be, but it also says that we need to pay attention to it. It's not just supposed to be a mindless experience. It's supposed to be nourishing. It's supposed to be something that we give our full selves to. So paying attention. So that goes to, how do you eat? How do you show up for a meal? So there's 4 concepts that I like to tell people about when we're talking about how you eat. Those 4 things are the location, so where you're eating; your pace, how fast are you eating; the rhythm, so how often and when are you eating; and grace or gratitude. What is your gratitude practice around your food? So those are the 4 things that really, really are key components in how you eat. So let's first talk location. Location, where are you eating? What's your eating environment like? Are you eating alone in your car, like while you're rushing off to do some errand? Or are you at home surrounded by people that you love, or surrounded by people that make you feel nourished? Are you surrounded by beautiful things, or are you surrounded by clutter? Is there calm? Is the environment calm, or is it chaotic? So you can kind of figure out which one is going to feel better, right, for your body. Your natural appetite, your hunger, your natural appetite, and your most efficient digestion is going to happen when you're in a relaxed state. So you can imagine that, like, multitasking and being in the car and rushing out and, kind of half eating your meal while you're standing in the kitchen or whatever, that's not a relaxed state. So that's not going to be a natural hunger, and that's not going to be your most efficient digestion. So what are your action steps for helping you really nail down your location of eating? One is sit down. Just sit down every time you eat. I don't care if you're eating a shake, or you're eating an Isa-Delight, or you're eating a full, 3-course meal. I want you to sit down while you're eating. So if you can't sit, don't eat. Make that little rule for yourself. How about that mantra? The second is, don't multitask while you're eating. How many times have you sat and flipped through a magazine, or scrolled through Facebook, or talked on the phone, or whatever it is, read your mail while you're eating? I know that we're busy and that we have small pockets of time where we can fit stuff in. Eating is not supposed to be one of those things where we're fitting it into a pocket of time. The next one is slow down. Like breathe, sit down and take some breaths before you start to eat. The breathing, the act of breathing actually stimulates the digestive system. It tells the body that this is a relaxed experience. We're not being chased by a lion. The house isn't burning down. We don't need to produce any cortisol. So relax, breathe. It's really important to set like the intention in your body before you start to eat, and also to keep allowing yourselves to breathe through the meal. We know what oxygen does for a fire, so we want to make sure that oxygen is fueling that fire of our metabolism. And then the last thing is upgrade the experience. Who are you sitting with? Is there music playing? What do your plates and your napkins look like? Are they just like, some chipped plate that you use every single day? Break out your really nice stuff. Get out a cloth napkin. Don't use a paper towel or a dish rag. Make that experience of eating something really special. And you'll notice over time, if you upgrade that experience, you're going to feel better in your body. The second key concept is pace. How fast are you eating? When we eat really fast, it creates a stress response. The body says like, oh gosh, we're eating fast because there must be a lion coming or there must be some emergency happening. So we're eating really fast. The brain doesn't like that. The brain needs time to understand the nutrients that are coming into the body and understand what it's going to do. When we're eating really fast and we create that stress response, it actually shuttles blood away from the digestive system and into our heart and our extremities, because stress response in nature would mean hurry up and move and get out of here. So we don't need a lot of blood in the digestive system when that's happening. We need blood in the heart and the lungs and the extremities so that we can breathe hard and move fast. So we want to slow down the eating process. Eating fast is like asking your brain to drink from a fire hose, and it can't keep up with that, and it's stressful. So we don't want to do that. So your action steps for slowing down are to put your utensils down between each bite. Like take a bite of food and put your fork down. That's a really simple thing that you can do to help to enhance your digestion and to decrease the stress response during a meal. Challenge yourself to be the last person finished when you're sitting at the table. I grew up in a house with some guys, my dad and my brothers, who eat really, really fast. They eat really fast. And so I always had the tendency to eat really fast too, because I didn't want to miss out. But eating really fast is not great. So challenge yourself to be the last one finished. It's a fun little game. Nobody has to know you're playing it, so you can do that. When you eat slowly, you're going to feel more satisfied by your food, and you're going to notice that you feel satisfied, and you may actually leave some of your food on your plate because you've eaten slow and you've taken the time to listen to your body. The third thing is rhythm. Rhythm is important. It's how often are you eating during the day? You know, in our Team Weightless, we have the 5 square meal plan, because I want you to be eating at least 5 times, sometimes 6, depending upon how long you're awake during the day. But the idea is you're eating something every 3 hours. You're not skipping meals. You're not skipping snacks. You're creating a rhythm throughout the day that your body can over time begin to count on and expect, so that the metabolism keeps going. We want to think of the body like a furnace, and we've put fuel into that furnace, or wood or coal or something into that furnace in the beginning of the day, and we don't want it to just burn out and then we have to restart the fire every time. We want to stoke it a little bit at a time throughout the day to keep that furnace going and keep the metabolism going. Your body prefers that. So we want to keep eating regular little meals throughout the day. So that's the 5 square meal plan. It's 5 square meals throughout the day, which usually ends up to be about every 3 hours. So the action steps for creating rhythm in your day are, one is to really follow the meal plan. Go to the Dropbox folder or go to the documents in the Team Weightless files and click on it and download the 5 square meal plan and track yourself. Just pay attention to see. You don't have to do it forever, but do it for a few days to get yourself into that rhythm. Try it. Like, your challenge would be like to try it for 3 days and then let me know. Share with us what's happening for you. And then after a few days of following the meal plan, put the templates away and see if that naturally feels like something that you can keep up with. So that's your rhythm. And then the final pillar in this how of eating is grace or gratitude. How often do you pause and give thanks for the food that you're about to give your body? adopting a gratitude practice around food is one of the most powerful shifts that I made in healing my body and healing my relationship with food. When I'm really able to think about my food and think about where it comes, like I love with our shakes, I think about these happy cows in New Zealand. But when I think about the food and I think about where it came from and who was involved in getting that food on my plate, it really does make the food feel a lot more important and makes me a lot less likely to grab like a bag of chips or something like that, because I can't imagine where that came from. All I see is like a factory and robots. So really imagine where your food came from and have gratitude for that process that got that food to your plate or to your cup. So your action steps for gratitude practice around food is 1, pause. Every time you're about to eat something, pause and create a gratitude practice, right? Just say thanks. Just notice what you're about to do. Give thanks to the fact that you have a choice that you're eating. There are many people in this world that don't have a choice. There are kids that go to school hungry. There are starving populations in this world. So really, really give thanks for the fact that you have a choice in what you're eating in this moment. And at the end of the day, take a moment to give thanks for the blessings that you had throughout the entire day. Those are just really great gratitude practices. You don't have to make this whole prayer session or anything like that before dinner, but certainly you can if the people that you're sitting with are people that you really are connected to and close with. Like, grab hands, feel that energy, touch each other, and feel that energy go through you as you're about to enjoy a meal together, because that's really what the meal is about. It's not so much about sitting down and eating something that for whatever reason. It's really a lot of times a community building experience. So if you are with people, make it about the people that you're with, and not about the hamburger on your plate or whatever it may be. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, is really think about how you're showing up. How are you showing up for your meals? How are you showing up in this program? How are you showing up if you're part of our 6-week challenge? Are you still continually showing up the way that you intended to when you started on day 1? So the how of eating is location, pace, rhythm, and gratitude. So think about that. Make that your little focus for today. And remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So slow down. Life is awesome. We have so much to enjoy. You don't want to speed through it. Nobody wants to look back and think that they don't remember what they did today. So enjoy every single moment of this day, even the tricky ones, even the challenging ones, because you're lucky that you have them. Okay, so I hope that's good for you guys. I enjoyed being here with you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.